If you're watching this, you are probably like me and have too much crypto tied up in Celsius, and I feel for you. It sucks. A lot of people just getting wrecked right now. A lot of things going on, a lot of bad fear in the space, but I want to get into some new updates on what's going on with Celsius, some things that are happening behind the scenes. Let's get right into this. The biggest news that has happened is Celsius has repaid $183 million worth of their loans on Maker. As you can see here, this is since July 1st. They've been making multiple installments. Now, if we look at the Oasis app here, this shows the Maker Vault for Celsius. And we've brought the liquidation price down to $2,722, which means that Bitcoin would have to come down below $2,722 for them to get margin called and have their collateral taken. Now, I see this as very positive news. Some will say, this doesn't really mean anything. But I think it does mean something. And I think it is positive for depositors because there have been multiple steps where they could have just filed bankruptcy. We had Goldman Sachs trying to buy them for $2 billion. And the important thing here is this collateral locked amount of $440 million that they will get back as soon as they pay back this loan. Now, the remainder of the loan here is $41 million. So they just have to pay back another $41 million and they're going to get $440 million back. So they have 1,000%. That's a 10x collateralization. I'm sure they're planning on paying this off very soon. This will probably happen any time now. There hasn't been any official statements from Celsius, so that is very unfortunate. And, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take any of this advice. I'm just spreading some information that I've been reading and finding out. You're probably looking for updates. And, it's like they could have just filed for bankruptcy. Now look, so Voyager here, one of the other crypto lending platforms, just files for Chapter 11 5 days after pausing withdrawals. So it's been over 3 weeks for Celsius. They have not filed for bankruptcy yet. There's been advisors advising them to file for bankruptcy. I truly believe they are trying as much as they possibly can to not file for bankruptcy, to continue operating their business and find a way to recover from this position. Now, there's going to be tons of people that say, this is none of this matters. They took our money. They're crooks, such and such. We'll see. This still all remains to be found out, but they did also lay off 150 workers here, so they're decreasing their expenses. This is something that makes sense to try to, if this is a illiquidity issue, that would make sense to do. So I see a lot of positive signs in this space for depositor Celsius. Now, the one thing is, when can they how does opening withdrawals really work? Because it does appear that the large majority of us who have the crypto on Celsius are just going to pull our money immediately because we've been super afraid. And it's super unfortunate that they don't just communicate with us more, because I think there are a lot of Celsius depositors that if some of their fears were curbed a bit, that then when they do start opening withdrawals, if they start opening withdrawals, maybe all that money wouldn't just get sucked immediately. I'm sure they would put some sort of cap, some sort of limit if they did that. But the key is that Celsius, these lenders, they need cash coming in to be their bloodline. So their business model does not work if only just small amounts are coming out. They need some money coming in. Now, Celsius still offers extremely high interest, extremely high rewards, and we've been receiving those rewards. And I think they could, even if they just stopped rewards altogether, I don't think people would have a huge problem with that if they were able to get some of their money back. But I'm sure that if they do that, they know people will just pull their money as soon as the withdrawals happen. So, it seems like just lowering the interest rates a lot. Like it seems like now it used to be, oh, we want to just get the highest amount of rewards as possible, whatever platform. And now after this has happened, I think a lot of us are learning that these super high rewards, these super high interest is not a good thing. It's not a positive anymore. We want sustainable rewards. We want sustainable, we want something that's not going to just close up shop. So we have Nexo here, one of Celsius's competitors, in talks to buy out Vald. They were talking about trying to buy Celsius's assets, and it seems like they're quite confident with their liquidity and their business model. And it seems like from the bird's eye perspective that CeFi lending is dead. But, and there's another perspective on what's going on with Celsius right now is if Celsius is able to pull this off and get out of this situation, it could, in a certain perspective, prove an extreme amount of strength and the ability to perform for their business. However, just all of us who are depositors and all of us who have our crypto stuck, we're just pissed and we're afraid and we don't trust them. And that's really unfortunate because if the narrative could somehow switch, a lot of people would probably be fine. I mean, most of us were not planning on pulling out our crypto out of Celsius before the withdrawals happened, or before the withdrawals were paused. The minute the withdrawals were paused, everyone immediately freaks out, goes, screw you, I want my money, blah, 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 such and such. So it's just this narrative. If they can get their risk tolerance better modified in a better way and get their liquidity and somehow build. How do you build trust with people again, though? How do you build? I guess you build trust with them by letting them take their money out, and because then we haven't lost our money yet. It feels like we've lost it, and there's a good chance we have lost it, but it's not necessarily the case. We're just going to have to wait and see. Also, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be giving away 5 Solana tokens to one of my subscribers when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So hit subscribe, hit like, help out the channel. Going to keep trying to bring you guys content here. And, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Celsius. It's definitely been an emotional journey. I've had people leaving comments of having a lot of crypto stuck in there. I have too much, but yeah. So I feel for you guys. And there's a lot. It seems like there are a lot of scams out there right now. There's a lot of people commenting on my videos with how to get your crypto back. I would not do any of that. I wouldn't click on that. I wouldn't listen to any of that. We just have to be super careful. There's so many crypto scams out there. And hopefully Celsius was not one of these scams, but only time will tell. So also, if we look at the Cell token, there's been a lot happening with the Cell token. There were a lot of shorts put on the Cell token. There was a short squeeze. Seems there's still a short squeeze. We're up at 90 cents right now, which is definitely good for Celsius and us, I believe, as well. We hit this low here at 19 cents and we bumped up to a high here, $1.50, and now we're floating in the just below $1 range. But it has been coming, this is an upward trajectory here for Cell. Now, if that can continue, if Cell can just continue to sustain or grow a bit, not just crash and burn, I think that's good for us as depositors, and we will see what happens. Hopefully, Cell releases a statement soon, and they said it's going to take time. I don't have a problem with it taking time. I think just the fact we haven't gotten that notice, they filed for bankruptcy. To me, that's good news. So take it for what it is. That could be coming. It could be coming, but I do see this as positive. I do see these payments as positive. I just see them as not filed. They could have filed for bankruptcy. They could have gotten bought out. They could have done a lot of these. I think they were quicker. I mean, Three Arrows Capital. So Three Arrows Capital, they filed for bankruptcy, quite immediately after their insolvency issues, and that I think directly led to Voyager's file for bankruptcy because they had a huge loan with Voyager. So the fact that Celsius has made it this long without filing for bankruptcy, I think is a good sign that they're not just closing up shop and running. And we'll just have to continue to see. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let's keep going through these crazy times. Woo!